Why don't we start, Margaret, by telling us how exactly you got in touch with the Calla mortgage team?
All right. Well, I was actually cleaning my ensuite, and I always have CKNW in the background, and I started, the Angela Calla show started, and I stopped for a moment and thought, this is really relevant. I'd been actually searching to renew our mortgage. We were dealing with a major bank, and I wasn't quite happy with what they were able to offer us and what we'd have to do in order to renew our mortgage, and also look at doing some refinancing of some debt that we've unfortunately come into. So I started listening, and there was a fellow on there as well that gave his testimonial. I thought, that's really interesting. So I quickly jotted down the email address, and although on that Monday, the next Monday, because this is Sunday, we were going to firm up our mortgage with Scotia, because I had been dealing with another financial facility as well, but thought, I've been working on this long, I'm incurring more interest, so I should make my decision. So I jotted down the email address and thought, well, I'll give it a try. I'll email them first thing in the morning and see what happens. So sure enough, within just a couple of hours of me emailing, John gave me a personal call and started off from there. So I was very impressed that they were able to contact me as quickly as they did.
Well, Margaret, my understanding is as well that you had attempted to get a mortgage at the bank, but you weren't pleased with, I guess, how they were treating you, the service that they offered.
Well, they really weren't. I don't think it appeared to me they just wanted me to renew. And as I mentioned, we needed to do some consolidating. And in order to do that, it was going to be, going through hoops and taking longer. Also, what became evident when I was working with John is that we actually had two mortgages, and which didn't make a lot of sense, at least the way it was explained to me. Also, because we didn't renew right on time, because we were trying to figure out what the best thing for us to do would be, is they increased our interest rate on a different basis, and we actually ended up paying almost $800 more a month on this mortgage that we were trying to renew. So I was like, oh my gosh, I had to. Then the pressure was really on. I'm paying more interest, and I'm not kind of comfortable with what I'm being not forced into, but the negotiating that was going on wasn't what I was hoping it would be.
Well, it's fortuitous then that you heard the show and you went to see Angela, and after all the smoke had cleared and consolidating some debt into a restructured mortgage, substantial savings every month.
Exactly. And the best part about that was, I'm going to say it's probably close to $3,000, but that's kind of not even being realistic, because that $3,000 wasn't really paying off our debt. What it was doing is paying the minimum on this debt that we've incurred. And just to share with you, we've got some entrepreneurial children that are building their own businesses, and we've helped them out. So it's not even our debt. But it is substantial. We need to get it paid down. So by joining the Angela Calla, or going through our mortgage with them, is that we can now see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're actually going to be paying off all of our debt. Not only that, but the amount that we end up paying towards our principal is so much more than if we were dealing through the bank. It's like we can see that we will be paying this debt off much, much quicker.
Well, let's review once again, Margaret, just exactly what those savings were.
Well, the Angela Calla Mortgage Group was able to save me at least $3,000 in payments a month. But in saying that, that's just paying off the interest. So we weren't actually paying down our debt, but that is freeing up money for us to put towards saving or use in different ways, because we're consolidating our debt and actually ending up paying it off through our mortgage.
Well, debt is debt, whether it's your kid's debt or your debt. It's always nice to have that extra money, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, on that happy note, what advice would you give for people who are looking to restructure their mortgage or possibly want to consolidate debt, restructure their mortgage and save money just like you?
Well, to be honest with you, I'd call the Angela Calla group. I had a mortgage broker, I guess 5 years ago now, when we ended up with the Scotiabank, and I have to admit, I was hoping that I would be called around this time to say, "Hey, your mortgage is up, and how can we help you?" But I thought, okay, well, maybe it is still a very good mortgage, a very good deal, so they're not following up with me. So not all mortgage brokers are alike. And dealing with John at the Angela Calla Group, it wasn't intimidating. He made us feel really safe and secure, and that we're not, people with this unusual high debt and mortgage. But we walked out of the office going, that feels really good. We really can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we know that our best interests are in their hands, and he's going to keep in touch. He said he'd phone us and, keep in touch, and if things changed and he saw a better option, he'll be there for us, and I really believe that.
Well, you're now in the Angela Calla mortgage team system, so if a better deal is to come up, then, your file will be flagged, and you will get that call to save, hopefully, even more money.
Yeah, and I do believe that.